history of the NFL. Just threw that thing up perfectly, 60 yards. Everybody holding their breath.
Amazing. Just amazing. Well, the icy hot bowl, the off the cocker bowl, whatever you wanted to call this game tonight. It was wild.
Good morning, football, everybody. We have people running around the studio. You get this sense that it's a Friday. People need their weekend to come. But indeed, the football weekend just started. October 17th it is. I'm Jamie Erdahl here in Los Angeles with Manti Te'o, as always, to my left. And Isaac Rochelle. It's Notre Dame Day on a Friday in the studio. Kyle Brandt, you had Isaac there for about 5 minutes. He, on his way back across country, he ran a full-blown marathon, and now he's back here at the table. Kyle, did it make you feel lazy at all?
No, not at all. It just reminds me of Joe Flacco. You just jump to different cities and do incredible things when you get there, sometimes in prime time, sometimes on television. We had an all-time Thursday night game last night. An all-time Thursday night game. I'm so excited to talk about it. We have a great game to start the show with. I know everyone is chomping at the bit. Let's do this. Good morning, football.
Chomping on Old Trapper, they are. Welcome to Good Morning Football, presented by Old Trapper. I'm going to do something real jarring for the table. Jamie, Manti, Kyle, and Isaac here on a Friday. No pleasantries. Kyle, you have a highlight in your hand. The game was great last night. There were some old dudes slinging the ball around the block, and then a really young, great pass catcher. He had a night, too. Why don't you show us the highlight, my friend?
I think we should. I love this game. I just am madly in love with the football game we watched last night. I'm so excited to talk about it with all of you. And here we go. We mentioned it earlier, Breeze and Brady, the oldest matchup ever. Both these guys are north of 40. Would they put on a show? 3rd and 11 early. Rodgers going downtown. DK Metcalf got it. 39 yards, perfect throw, perfect catch. That was before the play. There was like a little sweet nothing that he whispered to him. And then DK does a little out and up. He's got about a 5-inch advantage on the corner. He makes the catch. DK only had 3 catches on the night, though. There was not a lot after that. 5 plays later, Rodgers, as the Bengals rush 3, drop 8, and then eventually have a 4th pass rusher. Rodgers just navigating, negotiating, touchdown. Jonnu Smith. Steelers strike first. They would add a field goal, and they were up 10-0. And you thought this is how this is going to go. Bengals can't play D. Flacco can't do anything. But we're just getting started. Flacco, Chase, 15 yards down to the Steelers' 30. Keep on going. 6 plays later. Flacco up top to Chase. After Chase had another touchdown nullified, he makes this catch. The crazy thing about Chase is he didn't have any of these grand slam home runs. He didn't have the 75-yarder we've seen him have. He was all short to medium distance, and he was a tough Jamar Chase last night who had to fight for everything, and he won most of those fights. 10-7. Now Rodgers like, I want to go deep. I'm throwing it to DK, but no. Picked off by Jordan Battle, who won that battle over Rodgers. Interception. Bengals get the ball back. 2nd and 4 from the Steelers' 29. This guy got paid too. T. Higgins gone. 29-yard touchdown, and Flacco is feeling it. Right then, you're like, is this going to be one of those nights? Is Flacco really going to do this? He was, because Rodgers again goes to DK. And how about this play by DJ Turner? DK is going to catch it, one of the strongest people in the world, and DJ Turner rips it out. This is an interception. An interception back-to-back for Rodgers, who's basically in the all-time Hall of Fame for not throwing interceptions. Let's go to the second half, though. 3rd quarter, 20-10 Cincinnati, and on a 3rd and 18, Rodgers makes his best throw of the night. This was so pure and so clean to Pat Freiermuth. Steelers trail 20-17. Next, Bengals drive. Flacco up top, Andre Yoshavash from Manti Te'o, Hawaii. And he says mahalo for the perfect pass. Flacco loves it. They lead by 3 going into the 4th quarter. Flacco again in the red zone. Over the middle, Noah Fant. Noah Fant. We haven't said his name in a while. I love seeing him get in the end zone. Flacco fired up. 3rd touchdown of the day. Rodgers puts on his weird helmet and goes to work. Jaylen Warren, tough all night. The little ball of butcher knives runs for a big game. He finished 16 for 127. That was his longest run of the season for 36 yards. 6 plays later, the big man, 300-pound tight end, Darnell Washington. They tried all night to get him involved. He does the 6'7" celebration because he's 6'7", and it's funny. My kids tell me it's not funny anymore, but they won't stop saying it. And then we have this. A perfect throw from Flacco, and Chase just drops one. Al Michaels said the headline is, man bites dog. And Flacco thinks that's hilarious. Meanwhile, Rodgers now late in the fourth quarter. They're down 6 on a 2nd and 20. Out of the pocket looking, Freiermuth, gone, 68 yards. This game is awesome. I love it. 31-30, the Steelers go up, and Chase is like, I got to catch 50 balls and we're going to lose at home to a 41-year-old quarterback? Hold on a second. This was so pure, the safety overread, went to the sideline. Freiermuth was right there, and the celebration, this is the abridged version of it. We're going to get to the unabridged version shortly because it's absolutely hilarious. Ensuing Bengals drive, though, 2 minutes left in the game on a 1st and 10, down 1. Flacco, Chase wide open. There's no one even close to him. That is his 16th reception of the game, a Bengals franchise record. If you're wondering, the all-time record holder is still Brandon Marshall with 21 for the 09 Broncos. 2 plays later, 1:47 left in the game as Evan McPherson's waiting to come on. Higgins, the walk-off touchdown. No, he slid. And Al Michaels says, brilliant, brilliant. He slides down there. They milk the clock. They milk it. They milk it. Evan McPherson comes on, who once took heat for coming out to watch the halftime show at the Super Bowl. I thought it was cool. Makes the kick. Bengals go up by 2, but hold on. You think that's enough? Wait, sports fans, there's still more time. We get to watch the greatest Hail Mary thrower of all time throw one of his greatest Hail Mary throws of all time. Aaron Rodgers is going to chuck this thing 70 yards. It gets to the goal line where it is batted down, and the Bengals win. Zach Taylor feeling it. Flacco and Rodgers, all-time entertaining night on a Thursday evening. 33-31. I could not love it more. Put it in all our veins. Afterwards, we heard from both starting quarterbacks. Let's check in with the victorious, younger version of the starting quarterback, Joe freaking Flacco.
I love doing this. I've been doing it for such a long time. When you're out there with the guys and you're doing what you want to do and you're having success and you can look in each other's eyes and just like you get that feeling, of bonding with somebody else, and just it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot more fun when that clock hits 0 and you've gotten the job done.
This is the NFL. We had a chance to really open up some space, but we're 4-2, still first in the division. Got a couple home games coming up, back-to-back, another Sunday night opportunity against my former team. So I'm not going to ride the roller coaster, and I know Mike isn't, and hopefully you guys follow suit.
Trying to instruct the media in Pittsburgh as to how to assess, evaluate, and move forward emotionally from that game, Aaron Rodgers is. Joe Flacco, though, has been a quote machine since he arrived in Cincinnati. That's 2 games played in about 7 days since he was traded in the division to take down Rodgers and the Steelers. Man, the Bengals, that was fire. That was electric. And Kyle, you delivered on the highlight. Manti, what'd you take away from watching this game last night, knowing you were looking forward to a matchup that delivered?
Yes, the matchup did deliver, Jamie. And welcome to my childhood, everybody. Okay, so I want to say, if you're born past the year 2000, this is the football that we used to watch. There was a lot of talk about how is Joe Flacco able to come in here less than 2 weeks and do what he does. I said a quote last year, and I stand by it, and last night kind of affirmed it and confirmed it. Football is a simple game complicated by coaches. You had 2 quarterbacks last night that know this game inside and out. Now, in an era of quarterback gurus, sidearm throws, and fancy cadences, these are guys that understands the fundamentals of football. They know how to dissect a defense. There has been a lot of arguments lately about today's quarterback and that quarterback, those 2 quarterbacks. I believe that I grew up in the golden era of quarterback. These 2 gentlemen were in that era. Tom Brady was in that era. Peyton Manning was in that era. Eli Manning, Drew Brees, I can go on and on. And why is it the golden era? Because to answer the question that was being asked on the broadcast, how is Joe Flacco able to do this? I'll tell you how he was able to do this. The game plan was simple. Get the ball to Jamar Chase. That was the game plan. In the event that they stick help over to Jamar Chase, Joe Flacco, go to T. Higgins or anybody opposite of T. Higgins. If they put both safeties over both sides, run the ball. That was the most success that the Bengals had running the ball in the past 6 weeks. Why? Because when you have a threat of a quarterback that can not only get the ball to the receivers, That makes the defense respect the pass game. That opens up your run game, and now you're rolling. Now that locomotive that is the Cincinnati Bengals offense starts to roll. So for all of those kids at home, welcome to my childhood. This is what it used to look like. I know in a day of ninja pressure cookers, you guys use all of these machines. You guys are too focused on these machines and relied on these machines. The fundamentals of the game are simple, and I'm so glad that these two quarterbacks were able to show that for us last night.
Did you just bring two brands together, ninja pressure cookers?
Yes, it's a great machine. I get it, but my grandfather could cook the rice with just 2 cups of rice and put his finger in on top of the thing and cook the rice on the stove. He could do it. He could survive an apocalypse.
He had a
I need my ninja pressure cooker.
He's like, your grandfather's like, the rice is done. The same way Joe Flacco was like, that's where Jamar Chase is.
Yeah, Grandpa was like, man, back in my day, I felt like my grandpa last night watching the game. I was like, back in my day, I was telling my wife, back in my day, this is how it was, hon. Like, we used to watch football like this,
This is unbelievable. The crazy thing for me, when you talk about back in my day, these, 40 and 41 years old, if you just turn on a TV and you didn't know anything about the quarterbacks, nobody would guess that there was 81 years of life between these two quarterbacks. Like, they played so well, and like you're saying, it did feel like, the old school days. But you mentioned this. I think this is kind of like a run-pass, complementing each other type game. I mean, this Bengals team went into this game not really rushing unbelievably well. And then I'm looking at it, and I'm just thinking about what it'd be like to be sitting in these meetings Monday, Tuesday. I know Zach Taylor went in there and said, hey, this is a divisional game. This is a trench game. This is a O-line, D-line game. And you saw that. I mean, you saw Chase Brown have the best game that he's had all year. They had 100 rushing yards in the first half. Manti, you've been in those halftime speeches and you've heard coaches talk. Nobody wants to be in the locker room at halftime and you've given up 100 rushing yards. So I think it's exactly what you said. I think the rushing, what they were able to do with Chase Brown, the rushing opened up the pass game. And then then you can let Flacco be Flacco. You can let you can just air it out and play ball. So I was just pleased with that, and I was excited to see it. And again, craziest thing for me was just these two quarterbacks playing so well, especially Flacco, 2 games in 7 days.
Absolutely.
So proud of this rushing offense here.
I don't even know if I'm capable of talking about this game. All I want to do is just gush about the game. I just want to gush. Manti, you got me going to a place that I'd already been going. I woke up this morning like inspired. I really mean that. I'm like, I got out of bed did push-ups, and I'm like, I was gonna have a bagel and bacon. I'm like, no, I'm gonna have some egg whites and fruit. Like, I want to take care of myself. I want to perform at a great level in middle age. The second half, Manti, what you're talking about these young guys, I'm like, is there any way after halftime, could Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan come out? I want to see them.
Oh my God.
Bring them back. Get Drew out here. I want to see Peyton. I think he can still do it. I swear, I want to see them. This had this great feeling. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Of I'm a younger and I'm watching those guys and I feel like it was the senior tour, but they're still killing it. And there was this amazing generational image that, it was kind of a cool deal that Joe Burrow was there. And Joe Burrow looked like he was from a different century than the other two quarterbacks. Joe Burrow's standing there, he's got this crazy hair hanging down, and he's so cool. That guy's playing in the same league as Flacco and Rodgers, who had gray beards and whose skin was all wrinkled and who's just so. Rodgers was so ornery all night. It was an incredible confluence of generations and age and football and excellence. Excellence. Because, guys, there's 2 ways this game could have gone. It could have gone, then all the hype for we do and Amazon does is, ha, 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 these guys are old. It's unk this and unk that. And then the football's just kind of crappy. The football was excellent. These guys combined for 7 touchdowns. I thought Rodgers was going to complete that Hail Mary, which at 41 years old was the longest pass that has been thrown in at least 8 years. It's a phenom. It is really, really cool. Guys, in the wake of what happened in the Bengals' loss, Rodgers entered top 5 all-time in passing yards. Top 5 ever. And you know who he passed? He passed Ben Roethlisberger, who also should have been out there playing last night for the Steelers in spot duty. I wanted Ben. The Bengals won. The Steelers lost. Flacco's awesome. The Steelers had problems on defense. Jamar Chase is an alien. But as a sports fan and as a football fan and a guy in his bleeping 40s, I've been entertained by many football games. I can't tell you how many football games have inspired me. And I woke up this morning and I feeling like I wanted to attack the day and attack the weekend because of Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, and thank you for that.
Can we see that video, the first one that you saw of the quarterbacks for Cincinnati sitting across the bench together? It's Flacco, Browning, and Burrow sitting there in street clothes. Joe Flacco, everything about him in the last week, nay, the last 2 years of his life. He approaches the podium the same way he approaches. Why is that man never looking at a surface? He just sits there and he crosses his hands and he crosses his ankles and he's just like, whenever you guys need me to sling it, I'll be there. He doesn't have to see a play. Why is he even wearing a wristband at this point? I don't think he needs it, Manti.
He done seen everything. That's right, Jamie. You want to know why Mike Tomlin was so mad that the Browns made that trade? Put on last night's tape. That's why he was mad. You could give the guy 1 day.
You know.
1 day. And somebody who used to play for the Baltimore Ravens that is the Pittsburgh Steelers' greatest rival, who used to dissect them all the time, not all the time, but a lot of the times, now is suiting up for the Bengals and is about to play against the Steelers. A lot of people thought, oh, is this gamesmanship by Mike Tomlin? No. Mike Tomlin knows what Joe Flacco can do. The reason why, Jamie, to your question, Joe Flacco sits over there with his arms folded, he's like, I ain't surprised. Like, this is what I do. When you understand football, the technicalities of football and why this is so simple, that's why you can do that. Just watch that. I love that.
I just think Flacco, I think the adjustment is so simple. You know how it is. He's going to come in and they're going to be like, well, we actually say it this way here instead. And he's like, yeah, I know. You say, when it's left, you say Lake instead of Lucy. I get it. I've done this 1,000 times. It's not that hard. But honestly, like, my favorite, most hysterical image last night, and as I'm gushing about this game, you reach a certain point, whether you're a professional football player or you're a teacher or a dentist or anything, the worst thing that could happen really in your life is, like, you don't want to get injured. Like, injuries when you get to a certain age suck. They tear the house down. The Rodgers reaction to his own lineman tackling him after this play is so laugh out loud relatable. So Freiermuth's going to score the touchdown. And we celebrating, it's great, hands on, everything. But as Rodgers goes to the sideline, watch this. Boom! He goes down, and watch how pissed Rodgers is. Watch. He's gonna get up. He is so mad. And don't tell me that's him celebrating being fired up. No. He is so angry he just got tackled by his own lineman. He's like, come on, get off me. I'm 41 now. You can kill me by doing that. It's so relatable and so funny. It's the funniest image I've seen this year. I get it.
Kyle, on the different camera angle, when he first is doing that skip, I had the real life thought that I said, that man's skipping without leaving the ground. That is how cautious he is about his body. He is trying to celebrate in the most age-appropriate way that he possibly can. And then the reverse angle being taken down by this man. I mean, frankly, this is how I feel when my kids do that thing where they hang on my leg and they're like, walk, walk. And I'm like, I don't want to lift your body weight on my foot. I hate when you do this. Stop it. Oh, it's perfect. It is so perfect. Well done, Kyle. Way to bring it up. All right, that was it for Thursday night. We're not done talking about that game, though, because we got to talk Jamar Chase. We got to talk about how the AFC North moves forward from this. But we also have games this weekend. So moving on,